Good afternoon. Welcome to the University of the Bahamas' Alumni Association Lunch and Listen. I'm sure you're not new here, but if you are new, welcome. If you aren't, welcome back. We are excited to have you for today's session, which is set to be a very engaging one. So if you've not got your notepads out, go and get that. Get your pencil, your pen, your cup of water, your bottle of water, your tea, your coffee, whatever it is that you need in order for you to be able to engage with today's session with our very special speaker. I am your host, Naisha Tillis, an alum of the University of the Bahamas, and I am excited to walk you through today's session. Before I get started, I want to invite you to mute your mics if you have not done so already. I also invite you to write your questions down as you are going through the presentations today so that you're able to ask them at the end of the presentation, or drop them in the chat. By dropping them in the chat at the end of the speaker's presentation, we're able to go back to those and he'll be able to answer those for you. I'm also excited to let you know that the annual general meeting for the Alumni Association is set to take place this September. So if you're interested in finding out what the Alumni Association of the University of the Bahamas has to offer, you're able to attend that meeting that's happening at the University of the Bahamas in September and find out how you can get involved, what the Alumni Association has been doing over the past few years, and what can you do to make a difference here at the University of the Bahamas. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker for this afternoon's lunch and listen, and he is none other than Renbert Mortimer II. He is a creative leader, and he continues mentoring emerging artists, helping them use their God-given talents to elevate others. He has been an inspirational speaker for over 14 years, speaking to thousands of young people in the Bahamas and the United States of America. He is also an author and has been a part of the art industry for a decade. He has illustrated in numerous projects, noteworthy in his own publishing his own book, How to Tame the Beast, and hosting workshops throughout the Bahamian Islands on abstinence and waiting for marriage. He is also noted for continuing volunteering throughout New Providence, speaking to PACE for over 10 years and being involved with an international project and publishing by Dr. Anus International Ambassador on the 100 greatest Black leaders of all time. He is the chief graphic designer of Wainhead Productions, a marketing, concept design, and animation company, recently contracted to brand the University of the Bahamas' athletic department Mingos, designed its 3D logo, 3D mascot, and other graphic illustrations. He has completed many illustrations and digital graphic services, but mostly he is known for Waynes, his whimsical caricatures completed at weddings, parties, and other celebrations, as well as many digital caricatures. He is the only Caribbean and Bahamian registered under the International Society of Caricature Artists and continues to compete amongst artists that are the best in the world in this form of exaggerated feature caricature. Being featured in the Society website and publishing as world's fastest artist in 2017, in 2020, he received the Extraordinary Black Man Award for uplifting young kings and building a better brotherhood by the Black Man Inc. Black Man Can Inc. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker for today, Renbert Mortimer.
It is my pleasure. It is certainly my pleasure. I see we have a lot of mangoes in the house, and I have to set the standard of energy for this session, as I hope that everybody has a meal in front of them, or if your workplace allows, like I've heard some do, a glass of wine. What is better, right? So if you are comfortable, if you have something to eat, please just give a thumbs up. If you do not have something to eat, neither do I. We shall starve together for the next hour. Fasting is lasting. Amen. Amen. So without further ado, and I see a lot of people I know, Ms. Pinda, I see you, of course. Jasmine, thank you for this opportunity. And we have several leaders, I would say, inside the university community who are here. But I have to say that I am dual-minded today. I have to be Renbert the creative, that is everything outside of UB, as well as I want to just make some references to some of the things in UB that I think can be helpful. So what is my overall objective today? It is for you to feel more creative, for you to understand creativity, that is for you to understand the creative mindset of somebody who thinks like that and appreciate somebody who thinks creatively. So without further ado, I know we have the recording. I did not spotlight myself, but if you need to, that is fine, Jasmine. So without further ado, let's get started. About your presenter, like she said so much about me, and I'm very, very happy to be here. But I just want you to know I am for having fun. I am a student of positive psychology. I believe in motivating others. So I've tried my best to simplify most of this information to simple carry-home points that we all can leave here with more. What do I say when I say that? You will not leave here and be an artist. I need you to look me in my eye for a second. I'm not saying you're gonna leave here and do a fantastic painting and start branding and all that. No, but I am saying with confidence that you're gonna leave here a better leader. That is my objective. So who is Renbert, right? Renbert is seen sometimes as this. And for this presentation and those who know me, of course, I will short my name to Ren. Renbert is my full name. Ren and Stimpy, Ernie and Bert, put it together, you get Renbert. But for this presentation, I'll shorten that to Ren. And I want to emphasize the importance of branding in your personal life. You see, when I speak about branding in most instances, this is what people see. They see a artist who's excited, who can draw an idea that's in my head and bring it to life. And through this presentation, I want you to understand that that is not true. Yes, I have those abilities, but that's not all I do. You see, that's just kind of putting me in a box to say, hey, he does logos. He's a graphic designer. Let's keep him in this category. But as you heard from my resume, I do way more than that. So what if we get off from logos for a second and say, maybe it just helps people develop? No, that's still limiting me. I am, in essence, a creative leader. I have no limitations. Every time I set one, I break it and I shock myself. And I want to summarize my life experiences with this one thing. I had a social disability for quite some time, a learning disability. I could not speak. I stuttered whenever big words were presented. I still have to this day phonetic challenges. So of course, I have told, and I was told by a lot of people, you will never be a speaker. You cannot be a speaker. And I have learned through my life that I'm sharing with you through branding and creative, your personal brands, that embracing the fact that I love to prove people wrong has been one of the catalysts into the future for me. So today, let's really focus on our own branding. Let's have a discussion. That's not just limited to I'm the presenter and this is sharing information. If anybody has a question and you just want to unmute, I am totally welcoming it. I would love to answer all questions in this time period as we are only limited and I only have a short amount of time to teach. So let's discuss. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the right side of the brand creative, right? That is the literal right side of the brain, not the left side. As much as possible, I'm going to stay away from numbers. Anybody who's scared of accounting and math, do not worry. We're also going to discuss the intangibles that are desired. There are many qualities. Naisha laughed because we're in a program together. All right, but we're going to talk about the intangibles, the things that were announced around COVID-19, the induction, right? A lot of people said we need innovation, we need creatives. But if you are a creative and if you're in this group, you know you're going to feel this in your heart. They ain't really wanted us. They didn't. You really didn't want creatives because we would have given you so much ideas. For anybody who pays attention to literature and policies, you know that the government at one point put together a developmental plan where it stated where the Bahamas needs to go in years to come. One of the things I loved about that plan from the Office of the Prime Minister is they included animation. And this was at a key point where animation was taken off in Jamaica, in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, we see even with Marvel Studios, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that if only you could set up a little studio here, even in COVID, people can sit in their house and make money. I was happy to see that on the agenda. I was like, yes, the leaders are thinking, and then it disappeared. And if you don't believe me, go research it. So what is brand in this presentation? I'm not going to focus on how to do graphics. I am somebody who let people know we are in the template era. If you have not downloaded a template and switch it up, if you're not falling in love with Canva or any app that does exactly what you need it to do, you are missing out. This is the sweet stuff. This is the good era. Stephen Covey described it as a multifaceted era of business, right? So we are coming out of the age, the industrial age of working, of wages, and we're moving into the age of wisdom. So I see it as nothing more than wisdom that we are in the template era, that there are so many templates that can get you where you need to be. We're also going to talk about brand as the externally controlled variable, right? Because that's kind of the problem. Everybody's focusing on the deliverables, the numbers, my reach. But I've found in my consultancy with more clients, and I can only mention clients that have given me permission in today's presentation, that it's the intrinsic that's the problem with the brand. I'll summarize that later. So our first video, I want to share a video that took me 2 months to make. One, I had to collect the video, that is the raw data. Two, I had to analyze it, and three, I had to be intentional. I want to share this video with you, and I engage you to please pay attention. If your attention sways, please be honest in the comment section. I respect that, but I want to share with you what I believe is the Mingos brand without words.
Baby, come on, switch this shit up. Yours. Yeah. We ain't in a rush, girl. It's just us, girl. Let me know what's up, girl. What's up, girl? Cause I'm gonna slow it down. Beat it up, go down. Beat it up, take it down, 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 down. I'ma beat it up. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. I wanna switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Oh yeah. Switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the tempo. I know that life moves too quick for you sometimes. You should pull up to the kickback, smoke one with me one time. Tell me about all the freaky secret items I know that you got on your mind. Just bring them to life. Put that shit on the film and watch it back on rewind. Hold up, in a rush, girl. It's just us, girl. Let me know what's up, girl. What's up, girl? Cause I'm tryna slow it down. Beat it up, go down. Beat it up, take it down, 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 down. Beat it up, let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. I wanna switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Oh yeah, switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the tempo. I know that you wanna change your place, girl. I got that for you. I know you need a good, good girl. I'ma drop that on you. Girl, you just like me. I know that you nasty. I know that you. Yeah. Girl, don't be shy, just admit it. As soon as you do, you can come through and get it for real. I'm gon' feel you rush, girl. It's just us, girl. Let me know what's up, girl. What's up, girl? Cause I'm gonna slow it down. Beat it up, go down. Beat it up, take it down, 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 down. Beat it up, let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. I wanna switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Oh yeah, switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the tempo. Baby, don't be scared to show that to me. Let your head down and just show that to me. All of your love, just give it to me. Throw that to me. Don't be around, just throw that back and you all that to me. We ain't in a rush, girl. It's just us, girl. Let me know what's up, girl. What's up, girl? Cause I'm tryna slow it down. Beat it up, go down. Beat it up, take it down, 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 down. I'ma beat it up. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. I wanna switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Oh yeah, switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the tempo.
With that being seen, I hope that was a little creative break. I hope you enjoyed that. That is, of course, our University of the Bahamas Mingos and the feel of it. If you can put in the chat right now the emotion that you feel after watching that, I'll greatly appreciate it. Because branding is more than logos. We see it with Nike and McDonald's. It invokes something greater, right? There are feelings that happen, that happening inside. There are words that formulate in our minds. And that's what the emotional response of branding is. I thank you. One person said, that's Faith Sweeting, said excited. One person said excitement, hype, happiness, hype, pride. And this is intentional branding. Many times, and this is a lesson of experience I want to share. Many times when I approach clients to give them consultancy for branding, literally, I am telling you, literally, and if you're creative, you feel this, it's a boxing experience. It's, hey, welcome, creative innovation. We want you, sit in the office. And then you open up their minds to what their brand can be. And this is an ability that I describe as the bridging factor, right? Where there's an imaginary world, let's just picture it. There's castles and Disneyland, basically above the clouds. And creatives, that is right-sided people who heavily rely on it. We have this ability to build a bridge from this plane, that is the one that physically we can feel and see, to the imagination. Now, a tip and a hack I want to share with anybody here is, it's not easy to do that. Many people have been literally discouraged from being creatives from they were children. I'm talking about your little child's mind is saying, I need the color on this wall. And in our generation, of course, creators have solved this, right? They have now colorings that are easy to wash off. They have the ones that are heat activated, different variables. So you don't have to worry about ruining your good paint. But a child steps to a wall and they say, I want to do a rendition. I want to do a piece of art. So therefore, I'm going to take your lipstick and draw on this wall. And the first thing we do to a child is we spank them. We, from a very early age, discourage creativity. And I want to bring up a good friend that, of course, had to get permission. Alan literally shows the opposite side of this. Alan Wallace, a good friend of mine. I remember he was doing a painting, and I have the pleasure to be in his company many times. And his little daughter, at a very young age, takes a paintbrush and paints on his painting. And this is why I love hanging around with creators. Alan did not see a mistake. He didn't see an error. Alan recorded, and he said, I'm going to take whatever my daughter draws and change it into something greater. So if she drew a little 2D house, he changed it into a 3D house. If she drew a face, he changed it into a 3D face, because that's how we see the world. I only can see opportunity from crisis. I have no time to spend time thinking about, oh, how do I fix it? And this is relevant when it comes to the Mingos brand, because I can share from its incorporation that there was so much bad feedback that if you weren't aware of opportunities to come, if I couldn't see this one day, the fact that there were going to be audiences and crowds and people screaming UB Mingos and the Grand Bahamian, who I don't like them. I came off the plane to teach the Grand Bahamians Mingos Pride. They ran me back to the plane. They not only ran me back to the plane, they took a chant that we spent 4 months to develop in Nassau, and they changed that chant and hyped it up, and then they posted it. And then I recorded it, right? Because I was like, I got to capture this. But I posted what they created, and then I got 5 emails stating, Renbert Grand Bahamas doing it better than you. You need to go over there. Or I got a next email saying, oh, they got real Mingos Pride. Y'all over here in Nassau dead. And I'm just thinking, but I was the one who recorded. And I was there and I witnessed the creation of this new version of something that we had. You see, emotional response branding grows without you there. It's what Miles Monroe hinted to, legacy. It's something that it only needs you to start it. It's only a planting of a seed, but it's watered by others, not you. It's going to be watered by people who are just going to believe in the vision of what your brand offers. So in the creation of your brand, one of the hacks I want to share with you is it's all about the shareholders. We developed a brand over 4 years and then released it. Not we presented a brand and told the university, hey, take this and run with it. It took 4 years of sitting with alumni, sitting with the clientele that is the corporate environment, sitting and hearing stuff like, oh, why is the flamingo blue? And then having to go to our biochem students and know how to flip that quickly to make somebody rethink. So for instance, I want to show a difference. So someone once asked, hey, why is the flamingo blue? And we respond, that's what you're focusing on? Like he wearing a cap, a shirt, and shoes, and you only focusing on his color? You was a colorist. And people look at us like, no, we taking it seriously. Use a big time university. Why is the flamingo blue? And then we respond, the second one for the intellectuals, well, what color is a flamingo? And most people say, anybody could put it in the chat, what do you think the color is that they say? a flamingo is? Just put it in the chat. I ain't gonna shame you. Pink. Thank you, Jasmine. Most people, and we literally did a presentation to the leaders of this institution, where the people with PhDs said that a flamingo is pink. But one biochem student said, you are incorrect. A flamingo is actually grayish white. And they get their pigmentation from the food, the algae that they eat. And I said, you went to COB, didn't you? And the person said, no, I now go to UB. You see, you have to learn how to engage both sides of the brain with your branding. Can it be logically sound while still being creative and new? So that's one thing I wanted to share about the emotional response. And most of this you can find inside the book, and I love it. The branding gap, the branding flip. And Maddie does a good job of presenting this information in a very intellectual way. But again, we want to stay right-sided. So I don't want to get too distracted with that. And I want to continue the learning process. So what else do we have to be careful of when we're creating a brand? The perception is not our own. And again, this goes back to experience. I have over 15 years in branding consultancy. And the first thing that I always have to jump over, the first hurdle, is telling leadership to get out the way. Most creatives in our industry go with a lot of ideas, or they're given a project, they go, they sit, they do their process, they return with fantastic viewpoints of where the project can go. And then there's a leader, one person, normally totally left-sided, right? And they're like, I like that. So what I need you to do, first of all, go make a written proposal to present that for me. Next, I need you to take out all these stuff because I didn't like them and put in my stuff and make it work for me. And the final part is, and then I will approve it. But when it goes out, if it doesn't do as good as you say, then I have to actually blame you. But what if, and I do this in my meetings, what if I just said, no, I don't think we're a good fit? You see, the perception is that the customer point of view is always right. And I agree with that. The customer is right. But customers hate to be sold to. So you just took everything that was fluid, everything that I was coming up with, and you tried to inject your point of views and then tried to represent it at the same package. You disassembled my cake and put a bomb in the middle and wondering why nobody went taste it. It's because they can see that the icing has been melted. Like somebody filled with the cake. It's not safe. Anybody has opened a bottle before and see that the wrap, the seal is broken? What do? You complain. And that's why most brands get hurt, because they're breaking a promise. The promise is that when the seal is there, nothing should interfere with what I'm supposed to be getting. And if I see the seal broken, I should complain and get another one, right? That's the promise. So let's continue. I'll come back to this video at the end, just because I want to continue with some data before we take questions. But we do a lot of research at the University of the Bahamas. And one thing I love to do is the Mingos drop-in. I infiltrate all of the Counseling 100 classes. These are the students who just came out of orientation, just out of high school, and who are coming to the college. And what we found is that we could even notice the habits changing in customers when you pay attention. In 2018, we had 61% of students. And if any of y'all thought y'all was old, like me, this study is teach you it. So at that time, like WhatsApp was just catching on WhatsApp status because they, of course, they get it from Snapchat, right? Twitter was still okay. Snapchat was on the rise. Facebook was declining and Instagram was catching on. We did that survey just 1 year later. Instagram was no longer popular. Facebook was no longer popular. Twitter, a little decline. Snapchat, not so much. And of course, WhatsApp status was taking on. As we continued to study, we kept finding new studies every year. I can't show you the most recent data because of COVID-19, but even talking to students now and basically making a gut feeling decision with the brand, we found more students on TikTok than all of these other mediums. So as a brand leader or as a business, that is the brand personal you, the brand business that you may have your own business, can you follow where your audience is? And then after following them, can you take the feedback? Now, at the University of the Bahamas, there are a lot of statistics about student apathy, student engagement, of course, and it says that you should only look for like a 30% window of positive reactions, and then the rest would either be neutral or negative. And our studies were directly aligned with those studies. What that is saying is that you have about 30% of your audience, that is your loyal customers, that is your student leaders one day in our atmosphere, that are going to be loyal to your brand and do the selling for you. Then you have this negative side, right? Who, no matter what you do, no matter what you change, they just ain't on you, right? And then the neutral is who you try to affect. That's the new customers. That's the, hey, can I get you to give some more feedback? So The key question of brand creation is not design. It is not social media. The key thing, the starting point as a creative is how do we keep them? How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them loyal? That is the positive ones, right? The day one followers, the 5 people who like your post when you first start. How are you focusing on how you're going to keep your loyal people there? Or are you going to go macro and then do a boost and then say, oh, look, I have thousands of people liking me, but you still broke. And that's something hard that I have to do. So one of my clients I got permission to talk about as I come to a close pretty soon is a good client. And I want to start it off with Be Well. And his name is Wellington Heveron. And Wellington and I were engaged for about 2 years in personal branding. And I literally had the joy of working with somebody and removing the stresses of cost, giving full consultancy, and watch his brand grow from one that was simple to very complex. Watching somebody go from just a local Bahamian speaker to being hired internationally to speak. And I was so proud to work with him because one thing Wellington did throughout his branding was he remained true. Wellington had this habit of before every presentation, he would play a video of his children, play a video of his wife, and he would let the audience know, I am a family man. You see, the thing about brand creation, again, is you cannot contaminate the product. Be true. From he met me, he was like, remember, should I stop introducing my family? I was like, boy, if you do that, I will quit. That's the best part of your presentation. Ain't nobody being real these days. And I had a client for 2 years who was trusting my decisions, who would show me his presentations and I give him some honest feedback or I give him some quotes or references. And who told me that I need to stop hiding my intelligence? Because he's like, dude, you're referencing more books than me. But Wellington was a good example in this case of somebody who was trying personal branding for the first time, who wanted expert advice and willing to do what it took to get there. So concerns about EQ branding, right? That is emotional intelligence is, do you really see goodness and greatness in people? And that's something that causes me to disengage from many clients. Many people don't. They want a quick dollar, they want a reward, they want to reach a deadline. The next thing is how we position the customer for success. After you bought into my product or my idea, because now everything is intangible these days, are you really going to be successful and do I care about it? You see, brand progression goes from features, which is what does it do? The benefits, what does it do for me? To meaning, what is it going to do for my life? And we have to remember that it's a progression. So if your brand is still at the features level where, hey, I do this, I do graphics, and I can do graphics and I can get this to you and be good, then what's the next step to get the benefits? See, and I want to summarize this in the graphic world, right? Many people have gotten the joy of quick template graphics, but they're losing out on having their designs done by a graphic designer who has credibility, who that when that person posts on their platforms, they get buy-in from that person. You see, that graphic designer has people following them. And because they post your company, people are going to follow you. But you miss out on that when you're doing all the work yourself. That's just a thinking point. So how do we move from this, which is marketing, right, to the simplistic, tangible things? That is, how do I go from satisfaction to delight, to engagement, to empowerment? How does my brand move without me doing anything? And I want to give you a take-home point as we come to a close, because I know we're on time. And I want to, of course, do my job in brand. So we're going to take our points into the acronym of the mascot's name, which is BLUE. The first point, of course, is that you need to break down your brand. Many people made the error of studying international success, studying other people, but they're not studying themselves. Like, don't just schedule posts. Schedule posts and then study the reactions that your audience got. Look at views as, like they say, people viewing your product through a window. Are your views increasing? Are people stopping? And then how are you going to make them stop? And that's personal, right? But business is even different. Like businesses, hey, how am I going to actually get return on investments, ROIs for this client? In my atmosphere, my return on investment is loyal fans, seats filled, athletes who don't mind wearing Mingos on it, students who shout, you be Mingo and don't look weird. Because there was a chapter of that. It was like, you be Mingo. Nobody said. But now, the person who doesn't say the you be Mingo is the one who feels weird. Because it's like, hold on, y'all didn't tell me this, what the rules is, what the rules is. So we saw this. All right, cool. Let's do it again. I ready. It's in a desire to be a part of something greater, and that it doesn't need to be understood, right, Grand Bahama? You don't need to understand what the Mingos mean or the history. You just hype for hype's sake. So leadership is breaking it down. And that's what I want. You have to break down your brand. Sorry, your brand it has to be broken down. What are the elements that you need to relate to others? The second thing is leadership is not above the brand. They are within it. And this is a problem again in consultancy. I am privileged, thanks be to God, and God is my secret factor. I know what y'all, that's my secret sauce. But I am privileged to step away from a lot of contracts because leadership wants to be on top of the brand. And there's too much research and facts to show that it's not about you. If you look at Apple, Steve Jobs is dead, but people still loyal to Apple. Think about that. The creator, the original person who did the Nike branding, probably old, people still loyal. The creator of the Duke Devils, whoever did the rendition, probably old, but people still loyal. You see, it moves without you, and leadership change, but the brand doesn't. There's a taste of it. And brand change has a consequence as well. Many times I book a company who feels like every 5 years they want a new mascot, and every 5 years they need a new look. And it's like, maybe every 5 years need to get rid of you because you changing the brand and you're not understanding that you're not changing the structure. Who is you? The final thing is utilize this information. Remember, break it down. Know that leadership is within the brand, but ultimately utilize this information. Too many people get this, take it in, take notes, and then sit on it for a couple months. And I want to bring up a personal ambassador of somebody who finally listened. My little sister, I didn't get a picture because she didn't approve me putting a picture up. But my little sister at the beginning of COVID-19 wanted to be a YouTuber. And me and I had a long discussion about the creative path. And she was talking like, she's an accountant, but she was like, oh, I need to do this and do the scale. I need to do that. I was like, no, you just need to do it. Do a video, put it out there. And I have the pleasure of watching somebody go from 2 views to now being paid from YouTube because she has over 30,000 views. And watching that journey and celebrating with her, it taught us so much about trusting herself. So I want to leave you with 3 conclusions as you move on to be a leader. The first is when life gives you lemons. Can somebody finish that quote for me? We're at the end, and then we'll take some questions and comments. But when life gives you lemons, somebody finish it. You can unmute, you can type it. Make lemonade, make chocolate cake. That person drink a vodka lemonade. Jasmine is definitely a creative. Yes. My conclusions I want to leave you with is for the feel of it. Creatives think differently. Most people, without a doubt, quickly say that you need to make lemonade because they've heard it somewhere. How I think, and if I could go a little deeper, Jasmine, when a counselor once told me that, hey, Renbert, when life gives you lemonade, and I said, well, that's some lemon juice. What you doing with that? He's like, no, make lemonade. I said, no, because things are missing. You see, you got to give people the full tools. Lemonade consists of not only lemon juice, but what else? Water and sugar. And then rules about the proportions. So what if you don't tell me the rules? You give me the tools, but you don't tell me that maybe I need more water than sugar. And I just said, okay, if it's water, lemonade, and sugar, I can put all the sugar in, just a drop of water, then I can squeeze some lemon on top. It's going to be the worst tasting lemonade in the world. So if we don't give rules and tools, how are we helping people to succeed? And brand creation is about equipping that. What is it that the creative needs from people who are hiring them, or for people who are creators? What are these things that you need? You need a psychologically safe space. You need a creative space. You need empowerment. You need creative direction, and you need risk-free decisions. What that means is that every time a creative comes up with an idea, or you as a business, as a person, and as a brand, when you come up with a decision, you have to have a fearless mentality to say, I will do this decision and understand that it may succeed or fail. But in both of those instances, it's just a lesson. If you attach consequences to my decision, now I'm not going to move. Of course, like they say, right? Fight, flight, and then, of course, psychology says freeze. That's an area too. That's why some deers get eaten. They see the lion coming. It's either I run, I try to bite the lion back, or I caught in the headlines and I freeze. And we're dealing with a society of frozen creatives. The next conclusion, let's continue this as we close. A jack of all trades, continue it. master of none. I need somebody to finish it. And this is why we have to, there we go, Ms. Pinder. This is only recently in the last 5 years become public knowledge. And everybody, of course, not only have Google and could search, but actually search for information to find what goes further than just the known, right? So the full quote is a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. It was a statement to say that if you have many talents, you okay too. And it was used by people who didn't understand it or never had a world where they had multi-talents to say, no, the first half makes sense. A jack of all trade is a master of none. I like that. Let's run with that. You see, once again, some executives said, let's cut it right down. And it went from a statement that could motivate and creatively empower to a statement that delegates, strips, just by removing a half of the statement. So with our final conclusion, sorry, before that, what's the intangibles that are taken away from that? What if we remove communication? They can't speak to us because, hey, use a jack of all trades. That's all I got to do to shut you down. Use a jack of all trades, but I know you. How in hell you? I don't know your name. What about trust? You don't trust that maybe I have something to offer. No, because like they say, like some great person say, you're a jack of all trades. I don't want to understand you and see how you fit into this equation because you're a jack of all trades. And you have nothing to offer the company or the brand because you're a jack of all trades. Look how powerful it is. If you just cut a statement in half, you can leave somebody just feeling worthless, not knowing that the creative needs that full statement because only the creative can understand the last piece. It's better than a master of one. So when you heard my resume and you heard I'm an author, I'm a leader, I'm a corporate partner, I'm a brand manager, all these different stuff, right? You know what many people did when they heard my full resume? They said, "But it's impossible. You can't do all these stuff." And I just be like, "But why can't you? Like this easy for me because I practice it all my life." Conclusion number 3, as you wrap up. Play the cards you're dealt. This one doesn't have to be a statement. This is a gift I give. I use this in corporate level presentations, but I want to leave you guys with this. Do not play the cards that you're dealt in life. Analyze the cards first, because there may be a joker in the deck. You see, if you're playing cards and we start the card game and you just see somebody shuffling their deal, and then let's say you have a hand of a faith, let's say you're playing a jack black or something like that, right? You have a full flush, or you maybe have a hand with all 4 of the aces, and the pot is at $10,000, and you're excited, I'm about to win this money. And then you discover that their 5th card in your hand is a joker. What does that mean? That means that we have to reshuffle the deck because the dealer didn't do that job. And that's why I said branding is inclusive of the leader, because when you deal people hands, then you understand this one statement I use, which is the best of us was left in the resume room. In the resume room, that is in our interviews for the job, they read our resumes, they asked for more, and they present us with solutions to the corporate world. Hey, we have this problem at work. What would you do? Hey, we have this next problem. What would you do? Oh, we like it. We hire you. You have a lot of solutions. We like this. And then you enter into the workplace and you figure out, oh, there was a joker in the deck. They didn't tell me about the next and the common demeanor of people and mediocre performances. They didn't tell me that it's not cool to come to work early and it's not cool to stay later. And they didn't tell me that there was policies that actually stopped everything that I suggested in my interview. So in essence, I was dealt the hand with a joker in it. And the only way to get rid of it is I need some of these policies changed. But you can't change policies when you're micromanaging, because you're managing people or tasks. Think about that. Final things I want to leave is, of course, think differently. There are many personalities out there, there are many traits, and there are strengths and weaknesses to every leadership style. Think in a way that is respectful to both people when you're creating your brand. What does your employees think? What do your shareholders think? What do your customers think? And then what do you think? And then formulate something that can go, like Stephen Covey says, from 1 + 1 = 2 to 1 + 1 = 1,000. So with that, that's my presentation. My name is Renbert Mortimer, aka Ren. I hope that you had a time to learn from this and be empowered on ways that you can go into creating your own personal brands that can not only engage people at an eye level, but also with their hearts. You can scan this QR code for my information if you need it. Thank you. I think Naisha's mute. Is she you talking to me? Is she mute or is it me?
Nope, we can't hear you. This always happens to her computer.
It does. They just like pinpoint out.
Yeah. So until she, I think she has to leave and come back.
Okay.
So I want to just give a preliminary thanks because we're going to go into our question and answer period. So anyone who has anything that they want to ask based on the presentation, I see something in the chat. Excellent presentation, very informative. Question: should you be concerned about the competition even if you have a unique brand identity?
I'll be honest with that. Again, break you down. If you know what you offer, then you know you differ from your competition. So if you could just frame it, what kind of business is it? Because every advice is different based on the industry. Just for this example. I don't want to just assume. I actually want to give you something that could help. If you could type, just which industry is it? Like fashion or something? Solar. Okay. Hold on. Who's your competition? Oh, hold on. Who's your competition, solar person?
Ain't no competition. Just do your thing. If you, especially if you know you have a unique brand identity, you run with it, and we need that.
Yeah, I totally concur. Anybody who's in solar right now, you're ahead of your time. I can use a quick example to tell you I know how you feel. I suggested to many of my clients 4 years ago that QR codes is the biggest thing, right? And that was still late. 4 years ago was late. It only was when Super Bowl had a QR code bouncing on a screen, and one company not only paid millions of dollars for a ad, but they literally could say after the ad was run, I have literal millions of people who engage with that one QR code. No picture, no funny message, just millions of people took out their phone and scanned. And I literally now have people who signed up for my app. So they literally saw a return on investment instantly. For the solar, you need to know that your time coming. You just need to hold out. You don't see Canoe. Canoe blow up over COVID. They was like, what? Y'all ain't believe in us. Yeah, you go, Ms. Spindler.
No, I just wanted to add, I think competition is just regular electricity due to costing.
Yeah.
So you want to stand out and you want to make sure, it looks attractive and enticing to switch.
Mm-hmm. If I could go from a Mango's perspective, just so I get some UB points, win. Whatever you do, get your stats, get your numbers, and get your clients. Win. The more you win, people can refute it. Even right now in both atmospheres. So for UB Athletics, we win now. So a lot of what people want to say is, oh, well, I never had with UB. No, Kendrick just went to Penn State and he won. We went to Miami Invitational and we won. Our basketball team went over and they won. You know what I mean? Like, we win it. So what you have to say now? I mean, that ain't the attitude to come off with, but it's just to summarize it. And the second thing is for personal branders, like myself, caricatures. And like, shout out to my boy Steph. Like when I was doing caricatures from when I was in school, Jasmine too, right? I always did caricatures. I didn't start believing I was good at caricatures until I was 21. So you have to give yourself the one thing books haven't suggested, but I love to tell people, give yourself time. Give yourself time. There's a chopper that's coming for you. And when you get that presentation, just be ready, but give yourself time and don't spend time just thinking about, hey, what's going to happen bad. Prepare for that one opportunity. And I only had to learn that once. Disney offered me a job and asked me, hey, send an example of some of your work. And I was so busy in the hotel, I forget to draw. So I lost my one opportunity to work for where I wanted to work all my life. Invest your time. Let your work speak for yourself. Okay. What do you recommend? Platforms to promote your brand that are affordable to ensure that you get noticed in the food and beverage sector. Boy, Jasmine, did this too. But don't beat me up for saying this, but all. Like, join Facebook, join Twitter, all the different stuff. They allow you to simultaneously post. So you have a presence on all. For food and beverage, definitely, you need your website and e-commerce setup. This is a limitation the Bahamas does. You need to get over it. Does your food only need to be sold to Bahamians? Why can't tourists who coming off the ship buy your food? Why can't people in the hotel order your food and have it delivered? Because Bahamians aren't into e-commerce or setting up an account or waiting 5 days for PayPal to pay them, you miss out on a whole avenue of people who are ready to pay you because you just want people who want to give you cash. So if you're setting up your e-commerce, and Stefan is a great person to do that. He does great work. Didn't want to answer before you. Oh, no, hey, Steph, yeah, man. So for food and beverage, you have to open up your mind. Social media allows people who are not in your country to see your products. What that means is that if you're doing a good job promoting on these avenues, even if it's 10 people, and then they go to TripAdvisor and somebody mentions you, they need to be able to click to see that you exist. Because when they click and see that you ain't on TikTok or you ain't on Facebook, you're lowering the chances of them having trust that this is a legit business. And if you don't understand the significance of social media to the state, understand that when you apply for your passport now, they ask for your social media pages. They ask for your presence on social media. It's that important. So if you have a business, set up proper e-commerce because you're missing out. My book still internationally sells. I got personal letters from Europe, personal letters from Canadians saying that they're reading my little local book that ain't selling out chapter 1 bookstore. Am I hurt? No, I encourage. Okay, I get no sales local, but it's selling abroad and Amazon giving me money. It might be $57, but that's more than what you got. Not to say you and I ain't attacking nobody. Pick my lunch for space on who on Facebook and IG. Legit, yeah, you do. That's the beauty of Starbucks. So I think I didn't miss any questions, right? Oh yeah, man. Steph, you advertising on our page. You need to pay the Alumni Association for advertising. So we're a soccer player. We take donations, PayPal, bank transfer information, everything. We take donations. Get back to your UV.
We also take cash in hand.
Come on, Steph. Come over.
Prefer cash.
Come over, Steph. Come on home, Steph. Come on home. No, don't try. Come, get in the car. I don't need to stop trying. There's no try. Get in the car. Come here. Nah, it's good, man. What do you suggest budget-wise on social media platforms to promote your brand? My personal suggestion, I would love to hear Jasmine's as well. I tell everybody, put something out there and boost it for dollar. First of all, the algorithm doesn't care about you. There are people who are paying thousands and hundreds every day to have their work seen. And then there's you just start up. They actually don't care about you. If you're trying to build it, invest $1 a day, test to see what people are reacting to and keep building your brand. But if you ain't watching and you just blindly do what everybody do when they start a social media page, which is, okay, I started, and this is my first post. I'm gonna give Facebook, and this is my personal view as a Black creative. I'm gonna give all my hard-earned money locally to an international factor and operation system that actually doesn't defer the difference between Black people on the technical end, if you're really going to research in it, meaning that they can't identify all of us and say where we from. They lump sum us and say you in this area, so let's figure it out. So that means I can send my advertisements to Bimini because they're Bahamians, but I have nothing to do with Nassau. If you don't understand how to specifically go in there and make the algorithms work for that, because the algorithm is so in depth that it can say target people with iPhone 5s. And because you probably hold your phone up in the camera once, Facebook is going to register that you have your iPhone 5. That's my first advice. $1 a day boost and get to learn it. The second thing is you have to join Facebook. Metaverse or Meta is in control of most other platforms. If you're not on Facebook, you are wasting the capability of Meta. It links all of that information, profiles people, and literally tells you, hey, this is the same person who on your Facebook page. You should follow them on IG. Or this is the same person who on your Facebook, they're on TikTok now. It's all linked. So anybody who says to me as somebody who does this for the university, oh, I ain't on Facebook, I'd be like, well, you don't know what you're doing. Or I've met people who are getting 6 figures from companies saying, I do social media. And I'd be like, you ever do your own graphics? But, oh, no, I have a team who's do it. You do your own video? No, I have a team who's do it. What you do? It's not like your team is do social media. What you really do? It's not like I tell people straight up. I've done workshops with people next to me who literally don't understand social media. They have promoted their brand. They have, and ladies, sorry if I offend, they have posted sexy pictures of themselves and have people quickly grow their brands to numbers of 10K plus without any message. And I can speak to this. Again, I got permission for this one. Baha Hoop Yogi, aka Michael Smith, is a good friend of mine. And I was directly involved with a video of her that went viral when she got bit from the iguana. Now, on the side of people on Twitter and all that, they said, oh, she got bit from an iguana, people carrying on bad, she was on CNN, all these stuff, and she got a check because she went literally viral. Not the thing when people speak, but 1,000 people view my page today, ain't viral. No, you ain't viral. You're not. That is not real viral. Real viral is when my good friend called me and we had to talk through negotiations and contracts with international people because they put in a video in Indian markets and magazines. And I had to coach her through it and I had to give her some hard advice. I was like, to my friend, if you want me brand this Bahama and Agua Gal thing for you, I'll do it as a friend. But as a consultant, do it. All you do is get bite from a iguana. Like, what's the market of that? Like, where are you going next? You're going to get bite by two? So I was raw with her, but as a friend, she took that. And I told her, you have this time, you have this opportunity. If you don't promote your products, your sands, your oils, if you don't promote your services as a yoga, if you don't go to different yachts and stuff and say, hi, I'm the girl who's going viral and this is my yoga class, then you miss your moment. Because most likely everybody here is going to get one viral moment. Like Kelly, hashtag Kelly right now. She's going viral for doing a dance and people giving her attention, but this is her one moment. Like, be like one of your videos. That don't mean to be like, oh, you got this moment. If she misses this, that's it. Like, I can't help you. That's my advice. Y'all getting free advice. I charge for this.
Oh goodness, is Naisha back?
Naisha, better come back and close. No, honestly though, I do charge. And
Hey,
clients pay.
Desmond.
And client, oh, the great one. Hey, Troy.
Hey, Renwood.
Hey, what's up, man?
Renwood. All is well?
I'm good. I cannot complain.
Great presentation, man. Great presentation. Jasmine, I don't know if you wanted me to do the vote of thanks on behalf of Naisha.
Well, yes, I wanted to just give a little 2 cents first.
Okay.
So, just personally, I wanted to tell you thank you for this presentation, Ren. We have gone through high school together and college and being co-workers, and it really was a pleasure for me to be able to watch you in action. Clearly, from the conversation that we've had, we need to do a part 2, maybe a social media management roundtable discussion. If you're into that, let us know in the chat. I'll try to figure out how we can get that done. And I will make way for my vice chair, Mr. Troy Strawn, to give the official vote of thanks.
Can I do something just to be fair? And I apologize, Jasmine. There was a second video that I just want to end the session on. I know people will be logging off, but I just want to end the session off with people watching the second video just so they can get that bit. Because it's just going to show the end result of 4 to 5 years of branding.
Go Mingo!
Go Mingos! Blue, fight! You know!
Go Mingos! Go Mingos! Go Mingos!
Go Mingo!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos! Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos! Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos! Saucy!
Go Mingo! Go Mingos! Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
Go Mingos!
You be Mingos!
Ming! Oh my god, that was terrible. Mingos! 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 Mingos!
Mingo!
Mingos!
Mingos! Mingos!
Mingos!
Mingos!
Mingos!
Mingos!
Mingos!
Mingos! Mingos!
Mingos! Mingos!
Mingos! Mingos!
Well, I think it's actually a pretty interesting brand. It gets the whole thought of UB out there, and it makes itself a unique and interesting way to actually pull off as a university.
UB! 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 UB!
Wow, in the mix, one time. Here we go. I like my U in front of my B. And my N in front of my G. Say, hey, I got that Mingos. I love my Mingos. I love my Mingos. Let's try it again. I like my U in front of my B. And my N in front of my. Say what? Let's go. I like my. You Mingos represent baby one time. Let me start with a big shout out to Rent. Big shout out to Blue. Shout out to Nassau and the crew. Let me tell the tweets out here. This with DJ Wiles. You want woman? Shout it out.
I didn't want to give you all a disservice. I really wanted to just share that to say, like, when it comes to creating your brand, like, trust the process. Like, trust the process. And you know, we just came from St. Francis and Joseph yesterday, and all the mascot did was like walk in and walk out, and the kids were screaming. It's on TikTok now. And that's without saying nothing, just the mascot being there. The kids remember the mascot from when they was in kindergarten. You know, we went in Grand Mom and did the same thing. Like, trust your brand, stick with it. Do not be moved by numbers. You know, the mascot only has 500 on IG, but thousands of people know its name. So.
Thank you very much, Renbert. Before I give the vote of thanks, I would just admonish you to put in your contact information in the chat for those who may be interested in contacting you for some business. We don't want to just utilize your skill set for free, but we also want you the opportunity to also say what you said, but this time get paid for it. On behalf of the Alumni Executive Association team and the alumni body in general, we want to thank you for your words of wisdom. You are very knowledgeable in the subject matter, and I'm sure everyone who listened to your presentation was thoroughly filled up with information that they did not know. I myself learned a few things today from you, which I thought was almost impossible. Just kidding. But you did a stellar job, and we're definitely going to stay in contact with you so that you can give us a part 2, 3, and 4 of such a powerful and impactful presentation on branding. Once again, we thank you for taking time out of your no doubt very busy schedule to share such nuggets with us, and we wish you good success in the future. Thank you very much, and we also like to thank everyone for participating in this month's Lunch and Learn, and we hope that you stay tuned for other dynamic presenters who will be brought back to elucidate more on their various specialties. I saw someone in the chat ask for the name of your book, Renbert. So can you also post that in the chat for those who may have not heard the name? But we'll try to we'll have this presentation, if I'm correct, on the website, on the Facebook page of UB. So you can eventually be able to listen to it again, and any additional information. Yeah, it'll be right on our Facebook page. Madam Chairperson, you can take over from this point on.
That's all from me, folks. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I cannot wait until the next one. We will have to organize our roundtable. Hopefully we'll have it in person, and also make it hybrid for persons who won't be able to make it in person. As you know, we're getting social, so that means we have to have a social drink.
We outside. We outside. You be open up. You be open up. We outside.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Please enjoy the rest of your day.